There's a lot going on this time of the year in the garden. Many plants are settling down for a rest with some winter dormancy. And whilst for deciduous plants, this is the best time to transplant them, others like citrus and natives are generally producing fruit or about to flower, so you don't want to mess with that process. But that doesn't mean you can't grow your own citrus at home. In fact, I think May is the best month to be planting citrus out in Australia. But what if I told you you could be planting citrus, in fact, native citrus, right now? Yes, you heard me right. This is a native citrus. Now, when citrus first came to Australia, they came on a ship called the Buffalo. It also brought buffalo grass with it. But those citrus varieties were the ones that we're used to that come from the East Indies. These varieties actually grow well, in central Australia, but also in northern New South Wales. And it had actually been the local explorers who had already been using the fruit from this in their G&Ts to add just a little bit of acid. Now, with a bit of hybridising that's been going on in Queensland over the last 30 years or so, we suddenly have some amazing native citrus species that are absolutely brilliant for growing at home. And my job in the garden today is to add another native to my edible garden, a native food plant that needs a slightly different strategy when planting into my sandy soils. These plants actually love the free-draining nature of the soil and do well in full sun too, but they need nutrients in the base of the hole, not around the edges, to encourage deeper root growth. So I'm adding some Troforte M for citrus into the base of the planting hole. I'm not going to pop the plant straight on top of the fertiliser. Whilst Troforte is controlled, slow release, the roots will burn if they're in direct contact. And the trick with these plants is to avoid any root damage in the transplanting process. So the fertiliser goes down first, and then a layer of sandy soil over the top. And it gets water to activate it, and then the plant goes in. And I'm not filling the hole with an enriched soil. I'm using the existing sand and a quick water in with sea salt afterwards. It's important to remember that sea salt isn't a fertiliser, it's a soil tonic. In fact, what it really does is that seaweed, rich in plant hormones, just helps those little feeder roots recover from the transplant shock. And it's really important with this particular finger lime. It's one that doesn't like any kind of root damage. So using sea salt will help stimulate new growth, help it recover from any transplant shock and get it off to the best possible start. But what a cool little plant. What a great one to add to your garden and maybe to your next G&T.